Hello everyone, my name is KDS119. Welcome to episode 5.1 of the Faction Warfare Chronicles. I'm doing this video to expand upon the previous Logi video that I did. In the previous video, some users have rightly griped that I used the watch list instead of the broadcast window. As I stated in the past video, there is a bit of a lag in the watch list, whereas in the broadcast window, as soon as you know that you're getting locked and taking hits, you broadcast, and there is no lag for the Logi. It immediately shows up on the broadcast window. Now, let's go ahead and build upon what we learned in the previous video. In episode 5, I was in a executor that was modified ever so slightly to become a battle exec, with point and mild bits of drone damage. In this video, I'm actually flying a full-blown Logi exec. Now, I don't have maintenance drones or anything to that effect. I still have damage drones, but that's the only damage that I have. It's a typical micro warp drive executor. I'll be using many of the previous techniques that I used, but in this one I'm a solo Logi. No one is remote repping, it's just me on the field as the sole Logi. The fleet that I'm in mainly consists of cruisers and some frigates. Now, don't advise ever going solo Logi, because you'll typically become primaried and be wiped off the field immediately. Or as in most cases, the opposing fleet will just ignore you and volley straight through your reps. Luckily in this video we encountered a group that was of similar composition, but they didn't have a Logi. Let's go ahead and listen in to the comms, and once we get into the fight I'll start breaking it down.
Beautiful. Who's running the jamming drones? Oh,
They walked to the motto.
That's right, you're in my Logi. I like my Logi.
And that jumping motto.
Put those 300s on anything non-faction. Guys, warp to 0, EHA on hold. Did we get our Rax pilot to switch out to EC 600s? That's going to be a negative, no big deal. Alright, are you engaged? Enyo rail pilot. Sorry, who's in our Enyo? Mic check. Yuri? Yuri,
Yeah, I'm in the Enyo.
catch anything?
Yep.
In
wanna
EHA,
send
yeah,
out?
right. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go.
Vexor and Condor are red box.
Go, go, go. Jump EHA, engage on site.
Caracal
Get those
is
drones
red
out.
box.
Get that caracal up. Where are you at?
He's in Marta.
I am in motto on the EHA gate.
Oh, I'm psyched. In Marto on the EHA gate. Guys, warp, jump on contact Marto. Stay alive, buddy. I didn't realize you got that far ahead of us, man. I'm sorry. We're going.
Mate, what?
Are you staying alive?
Hold
Logi,
on,
jump
man. I'm
up.
trying to...
Yeah, it's alright.
I've told you
We
3
just-
times where they are, yeah?
Yeah, we're going. We're going. Don't worry about it. Just stay alive, buddy. Good flying. Good flying. You're a ninja. God damn it. Go, go, go. Lock up what you can. Lock up what you can. Guys, catch up. This is slaughter. Which one got
Roll
you?
here.
Oh yeah, they are.
Primary.
Now that we land on field and see what this group has, we can see that they have 2 MOAs, a Condor, Caracal, and a Vexor. This group just took out Yuri's Enyo, so we're down a member. We still have 6 of their ships left. We have a handful of cruisers, a frigate, and of course me, the Logi. On paper this seems to be a pretty even fight, even without me. We should be able to take them, as long as my reps will hold. Now that
Primary is gonna be that Vexor. Get that Vexor off grid. Lock up that Vexor. Point him out. Point him out.
He's
Go,
pointed.
point.
Get those drones on him. All drones. All drones. Broadcast for reps as you need it. Spread your points, guys. Secondary is going to be combat evolved.
Let's turn our attention to the watch list. The watch list can be found in your fleet window under the History tab. Now where you see filters, you can set up some filters manually, but we're not going to get into that. As long as you have the broadcast history up, you should be able to see your fleet members broadcasting. Notice on the bottom of the window there are some buttons that you can click. Knight has selected this button. When you click this button, it will show up in the broadcast history that you need armor. Doing this makes it much easier for the Logi. I can quickly move over my mouse, hold control, and click on his name there in the broadcast window. This will allow me to lock him, and then I can send reps his way. Now be courteous to your Logi. Don't over broadcast. One broadcast will do. I will lock you up. I will then be able to see an accurate portrayal of how your armor is holding. If for some reason or another then Logi isn't sending you reps, call it out in comms. Don't just say, I need reps. Holler out, so-and-so needs reps, and end it there. Have faith in your Logi pilots to pay attention to the broadcast window. Don't just shout out on comms and create confusion in the heat of battle.
Overheat. Overheat.
Point on combat evolved. Namoa.
Beautiful. Beautiful job.
Now that I've got Knight locked up, I start sending reps his way. Now what I'm about to explain to you is something very controversial to some people that are receiving Logi reps. I'm going to actually be bait tanking Knight to keep the enemy fleet interested. Now, I could easily overheat and rep him up all the way, but because I'm micro warp drive fit, and we're a fairly even fight, I'm going to bait tank him. Bait tanking is not something that you do starting out. Bait tanking is something that you do after years of being Logi. You need to be confident and competent in order to achieve this. And it typically only works out in smaller fleets like this. It can be accomplished in some larger fleets, but with cruiser tanks, it's not an easy thing to manage. Especially with armor reps that land at the end of the cycle. It can become a little bit unpredictable. I'm going to cut away the camera from the fight for a minute, and then later I'll show you the fight in full scale, to show you how I cycle and manage my reps. Now as you'll see, I'm just cycling through my reps. I'm clicking one, letting it cycle, shutting it off, moving on to another. I'm only keeping 2 reps on him, and just kind of easily cycling through them, allowing his tank to ever so slightly break, keeping them interested on the target, thinking that they're breaking his tank. Now here I notice that his tank isn't breaking as far as I want it to, so I actually stop reps, allowing them to hopefully break his tank a little further to keep them that much more interested. And I notice that he's actually active rep. Now his tank is exactly where I want it to be. It's at about 30 to 40%. He's halfway there, and I know that they're going to start overheating to try to break his tank. Now I've just got to hold him there. Now just to ensure that he doesn't break, I actually overheat 2 reps and hold them solid on him. Now it looks like my reps are working too much. They may potentially be moving on to another fleet member in order to break his tank, seeing that he's holding too long. My bait tank has worked. They've stayed on him for long enough in order for us to take out a couple of their members. Now let's go back to the fight and take it in full scope, with comms and everything.
Point on combat evolved. Namoa.
Beautiful. Beautiful job. Spread your points. Call for reinforcements. This isn't going very good. Secondary is going to be combat evolved. Combat evolved. Get ready to switch all drone damage. Everything on combat evolved. Everything on combat evolved. Tertiary is going to be Shorn Macaca. Tertiary is going to be Shorn Macaca.
Someone get a point on him.
I spread your points.
Spreading points, boss. Sorry,
Cool.
Overheat those reps. Going for Shorn. I am going for Shorn.
Don't burn out your reps on me.
Point on Shorn. Web on Shorn. All DPS on Shorn Macaca. Tertiary is going to be Volcano God. Volcano God. Somebody call point on Volcano
Point
God.
on Volcano God.
Beautiful job, guys. Need a fast runner to run that caracal down. Need a fast runner to run that caracal down. Beautiful job, guys. Beautiful job.
Now notice that Thanatos is broadcasting. With frigates, there is no such thing as bait tanking. You get these guys locked up because they don't have enough buffer to hold through a bait tank. My job now is simply to save him from dying.
All DPS, switch over to Volcano God.
Nice reps, man. Thank you.
Yuri, I'm
Beautiful.
sorry, dude. I slipped, buddy. Yuri, I'm so sorry I slipped, man. I didn't realize you got that far ahead.
You got us their fleet, though.
Scoop the loot.
Any loot goes to that guy.
Yep. All loot goes to Yuri.
We got a
He's the only one.
Oh, never mind.
Pull your drone, scoop field. Pull your drone, scoop the field.
Thanks
All
for
loot
the
goes to
reps.
Yuri. Beautiful job, Logi. Well executed.
Seriously, I thought I was a goner. Good job.
That was fucking amazing. Thank you.
As you heard my fleet members, everyone had fun with that fight. We held the field, we did our jobs. That's all that matters. In engagements like this, a bait tank like that can make the engagement feel closer than it is, even to your own fleet members. Of course, while bait tanking them, you never tell them. that would be bad. Maybe after the engagement, but even then, they may not want you to be Logi, especially if it doesn't work out well. With that, we're going to call it. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video, and I really hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Until next time, guys, fly safe.